and welcome to my empties for the month. I have quite the bin of things. Shoot, I was trying to lift it up without causing everything to fall over. I guess that one is a fail. So I'm going to start with foil packets as per usual. I really only have, I think, one this month. There might be some buried down there, but the only one that I'm seeing on the top is actually something I used this morning. This is from Face Tory, and is their Sun Bay Soothing Mask. I got a little bit of a sunburn yesterday, and I got some sun exposure the day before as well. So I just put this on. It does have quite a bit of aloe vera. I think it's the 4th ingredient. So it is pretty soothing. I like these. I don't think it's amazing, but my skin can use any extra moisture it can get right now. And this is the last one of these that I had. I had 5 originally, maybe 6. This is my last one. I am not in any hurry to go out and get another pack, but if I saw one like at TJ Maxx, I would totally hop on that. These are really nice, but I see them on sometimes for like $4 or $5 a piece. No, absolutely not. Okay, next up. This is kind of a strange product. It's not something I would usually talk about, but this is a set of razors that I got from Up & Up. These are their 5-blade compared to Venus Extra Smooth. I did not like these. They had this piece that was supposed to be lubricating, and it just got so sticky and gross if it got wet at all. And I just felt like I had to wash off my razor, the outside of it, every time before I would use it. And then I would try to wash it off at the end and try to keep it dry inside my shower. It just didn't work. They're not bad razors. This piece is just annoying. So, would not recommend those. I think I might have another pack of them because I found them on really good sale one time at Target. And I guess I know now why they were on really good sale. Probably because no one buys 2 packs of these. Oh well. For the 3rd month in a row, I have several mini perfume samples. So let's start out with this one from Versace. This is Bright Crystal. I've had 2 samples of this, and I still have no impression whatsoever of this scent. It's just completely forgettable. It's not bad, but yeah, I'll put this down, and in 10 minutes, I won't have a scent memory of this. It's pleasant, but it's just so incredibly forgettable. Next up, we have Idole Le Parfum from Lancôme, and I liked this. I thought that this felt a little bit heavy on me. It wasn't bad. It's the kind of perfume that just feels a few years older than me. I'm still in my 20s. This just doesn't feel right. I feel like in 5-10 years, I could revisit this scent and really, really enjoy it. It just feels not mature in a bad way. I know that has such a negative connotation, especially when talking about fragrance, but more grown up and with all of their stuff together than I am at this stage in my life. So pretty scent, just not a me scent, at least not right now. And then I have 2 from Skylar. First up, we have Coconut Cove. This was kind of a like salty coconut scent. I liked it. I didn't love it. I tend to prefer either like a coconut with maybe like pineapple or something very tropical but very sweet, or a just really pure coconut. This salty note is nice. That's kind of a running theme. All of these are nice scents, but I don't know. I just wouldn't invest in a Skylar perfume for this scent. There's other Skylar scents I like a lot more, like this one. This is Vanilla Sky. And this is the prettiest like year-round vanilla scent. It's not so light and airy that it doesn't have enough body for winter, but it also isn't so like warm and full feeling that it would feel stuffy in summer. It's a really nice balance. I like this a lot. I have a couple of vanilla perfumes, but if I didn't, I would consider this. This is really nice. And I think then we can move on to some pretty decent sized items. And we're going to start with one that doesn't look decent sized, but this took me forever to get through because you need so little. This is from First Aid Beauty. It is their Ultra Repair Oat and Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil. This is a little dropper. I deposited 1 to 2 drops every time I used this. A few times I used this like on my skin directly, and I didn't love it that way. I felt like it was really hard to spread out. The way I really liked using this was when I was using more of a creamy moisturizer rather than a gel moisturizer at night, dropping about 2 drops into that, mixing it in, and then applying that to my face. I found that that was really nourishing. I don't know if it was calming like this claims, but I found that it was really nice for especially like February and March, which is probably the coldest time of year here. This definitely kept my skin in better shape than it would have been otherwise. So I liked this. I don't know that I would go out and repurchase this exact brand. I have some other oils. I'll use those, see how I like them, and then maybe I'll have a better point of comparison. I've never had a similar product, so I don't know how this stacks up to others. I have 2 face washes. They are both from e.l.f. We have a mini of the Super Clarify and then a full size of the Bounce Back Jelly Cleanser. Of the 2, I like the texture on the Super Clarify a little bit more. I've noticed that with the jelly cleansers from e.l.f., they're just a bit too thick for my liking. Like if I were to squeeze this out and sort of lift, there would be like a little Hershey's Kiss shape left that would stay there for quite a while. This is highly viscous, and I'm just not quite sure about that texture. I don't feel like it spreads super well over my skin, but it does a good job of getting my skin clean, and I think it does even an okay job of removing a moderate amount of makeup. If this was a more moderate price cleanser, if this was like an $8 to $10 cleanser, I wouldn't be happy with it. However, I tend to get this for like $2 to $3 a tube, and at that price, I don't think I can do any better, and I'm not necessarily willing to go up to that more average drugstore price point for facial cleanser. So I think I'll probably stick with e.l.f., but if I have options within e.l.f., I'm probably not going to pick the jelly cleansers going forward. And then the one that I preferred was the Super Clarify. This is a cleanser with clarifying niacinamide. This one's a little bit thinner. It is still a gel cleanser, but it's sort of a creamy gel, whereas this is, I think, pretty reasonably called a jelly cleanser. I like this one. I like the orange packaging. I know that doesn't really impact how the product works, but I prefer it. I also think it's easier to get all of the product out of this tube than this one. Like, I think you can see at the bottom there's still some cleanser there, and I don't care about it enough to cut open the tube and scoop it out. But this is more or less clean, despite me not fighting with this at all. Okay, let's stick with skincare. I finished a bunch of skincare this month, actually. And one of the pieces that I'm most excited about is this toner. This is from Haru Haru Wonder. It is their Black Rice Hyaluronic Toner. I've had this for ages. I've been using it since, I think I bought this in like April of last year, so it's been a long time. and I've really only been super consistent about using this in the last 3 months maybe. I find that this leaves a little bit of a sticky texture on my skin, but it is nicely hydrating, and that is what this promises to do. So if I were just to use this and then leave my skin, I wouldn't like it, but that's not what you're supposed to do with toner anyway. You're supposed to follow up with serums or moisturizer, some combination of the two. And when I did that, I found that things still absorbed into my skin really nicely. I didn't deal with any problems with this interacting strangely with other skincare. I thought this was moisturizing. It's a win. I don't know that I would specifically hunt down this one. I had to purchase it from Yes Style, I believe. Or I don't know if I had to purchase it from Yes Style. I did purchase it from Yes Style. And I don't believe that this is super readily available from very many US-based retailers. But if I was going to place another order from Yes Style, I would totally consider picking this one up. This was really good. I would give this like 4.5 out of 5. Not quite 5 because it was a little sticky, but really close. Good stuff. And then we have this Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. I was using this as a morning moisturizer. Occasionally I would use this in the evening too, but I just don't feel that this was quite heavy enough to be really good for me at night. My skin really can use that extra moisture, and this just wasn't quite that. I'm a little bit conflicted on this product because deep down, I know that if this was not Glow Recipe, if it wasn't in this pretty sort of irregular glass bottle and it wasn't pink, this would be like a 2-star product for me. It's nice. It does roughly what it says it's going to do, but it's nothing super special. But I like the fact that it's in the pretty glass jar. I know that it's a fairly expensive product, and I feel like that's really coloring my view of this. I got this through FabFitFun, so I did not pay the original price tag for this. If I had, I think I would have been disappointed in this. I just feel like I can get as good of hydration as this gave me from some primers. I can get this from drugstore moisturizers. It's just nothing all that special to me. And I think that's kind of a bummer because at Glow Recipe prices, I want it to either be a really, really nice experience to use, which this is to some extent, but it left my skin feeling a little bit sticky, or to give me really, really great results. And I don't think this really did either. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm really glad that I was able to try the product. I really like the concept of Glow Recipe, and I've been okay with all of their products, but there's nothing that's totally wowed me. And that's kind of disappointing because their stuff is so cute, but if it doesn't deliver, then you're paying $40 for a glass bottle. That probably cost, 50 cents for them to make. I didn't technically finish this, but I was close enough and it went bad on me, so I decided I was done. This is from e.l.f. It is their lip scrub in Sweet Cherry. See, I was all the way down there. That's all the way rolled up. I feel like I deserve to call this an empty. This is okay. It was really nice actually when my lips were in such bad shape last year, because I really did need to slough away all of that dead skin in order to get decent looking lips so that I could apply anything on them and have it look okay. I just don't need this now, so it had sat unused for a long time. I, knock on wood, haven't had any problems with my lips in quite a while, so I don't think that I need another product like this, though I think I do have a backup, not of this exact lip scrub, but of a lip scrub. I think it's the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams one, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. If I needed it in the future, I'd consider purchasing this one. I have gone back to this several times over the years. However, that's been largely a price-based decision. This is like I think they're up to $4 or $5 now, but when I first started purchasing them, they were $3. I would also consider getting a like lipstick style or a bullet style lip scrub from another brand. I just don't like the little pots that you have to dip your finger into every time. I much prefer this delivery method, and this is just the least expensive bullet delivery method that I have found for a lip scrub. So I would buy this again, but if I found another cheap one, I'd consider that too. I guess this is sort of skincare too. This is a hand cream in Gingham Gorgeous from Bath & Body Works. I only got this back in March, I think, but I started using it practically right away. It's a pleasant scent. It is more floral, or at least true floral, than standard gingham is. Standard gingham to me reads just as a freesia scent, but it's very fresh feeling. This is more floral and more sweet than the original gingham, but it definitely has that same sort of base that gingham has. You do get a little bit of that fresh freesia scent. Fresh freesia. That's harder to say than it needs to be. I don't prefer this to the other two scents in their new gingham expansion. I much preferred Gingham Fresh, which was a pear scent, and Gingham Vibrant, which is like a powdery violet scent, but this was nice. I didn't mind using it up, but if I were to go back to Bath & Body Works, I say that like it's a hypothetical. Like I won't be back in Bath & Body Works within 2 months. I wouldn't purchase this one again. There are other scents that I prefer. But I do like the hand creams. I've gone back to those for years and years. Okay, let's keep on the Bath & Body Works train. And I finished a thing of bubbly rosé. This is one of their 75ml fine fragrance mists. I really liked this. It's in my year-long project pan, and I'm sure that I will give lots of thoughts in that video, but I liked it enough to finish a 75ml size. That's not a small feat. You have to use one of these fine fragrance mists a lot to get there, and I really like this. It's very tangy. Okay, I've got to save things to say for that Project Pan video, so let's move on to some hair care. I have 2 hair care products this month. The first is the biggest thing in my Empties bin. I feel like this accounts for like 1/4 of the volume you saw earlier. This is from Not Your Mother's. It is their Plump for Joy Bodybuilding Dry Shampoo. It's actually a pretty good dry shampoo. I look for dry shampoo and something that makes my hair look clean. I don't really care as much about volume, but my hair does get pretty greasy looking pretty quickly. And because my hair is relatively light, when it gets greasy, it's really obvious because it looks darker. And this really helps with that. The way that I apply this is I will put just a ton on, put a shower cap on, take my shower. So that's probably 5 minutes or so in the shower cap, pretty warm, sort of damp air. And it seems to work really well. It sort of looks like I have washed my hair. I like this a lot. I would repurchase this. I think this is probably the best drugstore dry shampoo I've used. I'm trying to think if there's any others that compare. I thought the Batiste one was good as well, but I think this one edges it out just a little bit. Not as good as Living Proof, but also 1/4 the price of Living Proof. So what are you gonna do? Man, I have so many empties that my camera forced me to reset and start another video. So that's exciting. Next, we have a leave-in conditioner. This is in the Saints and Sinners bottle. It is not the Saints and Sinners leave-in conditioner. I finished that like over a year ago. I've been pouring, I think it was a Foxy Bay one into this container, and it was just okay. I preferred the Saints and Sinners to the Foxy Bay. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly which leave-in conditioner from Foxy Bay it was. I don't even know if they have multiple. But know that I don't think it's anything super special. And for reference, I have semi-dry hair, but my big problem with my hair is that it is very fine and it is pretty breakage prone. And I think this, helped to keep things down because it is so fine. It can be a little bit on the frizzy side, but I don't think it really helped with breakage. It did help to detangle, but so has every other leave-in conditioner I've ever used. Nothing special, not going to repurchase. And now I have a couple of makeup products. Maybe you guys don't think of this as makeup, but I do. This is a nail polish. It's from Sally Hansen. It's their Insta-Dry line, Prismatic Shine Subline, and this is the shade Cosmic Blue. I loved this. It was so pretty. I used it up in 2.5 years. Yeah, probably around 2.5 years. Maybe closer to 2. And it's beautiful, and I loved it. And there's a part of me that wants to repurchase it. I liked it that much, but I know that I have similar enough things in my collection that I don't need to do that. However, if you are looking for a pretty blue topper to put over, especially greens, blues, purples, blacks, consider this. It's gorgeous. Loved every minute of it. I have a not very exciting empty. This is from e.l.f. It is their Instant Lift Brow Pencil. I used to use one of these up like every other month, but I feel like I haven't had one in a while. Not sure why that is. I get mine in blonde. I've been going back to it again and again and again since the beginning of my channel. So I've probably reviewed this like 10 times, but my review has not changed. I like this wider format brow pencil. It's not that really tiny little tip. I find that the really tiny little tipped ones, I break it often. I guess I use more force than is really necessary. And I just go through them so fast. I have no interest in repurchasing something like every 3 weeks. And that's about how quickly I can use up some of those really thin brow pencils. This one goes the actual application goes faster. I'm not trying to recreate a brow from nothing. I have eyebrows for the entire area that you see brows on my face now. I just deepen up sort of the inside half and leave the outside half more or less to do as it will. I don't like the look of super kempt or really full brows. I just like something sort of natural and in the middle. I just want to darken up what I have, and for that purpose, this is really good. I purchased 2 of these this month as replacements, so I'm set for like the next 6 months. And after that, I probably will go back and buy more of the e.l.f. Instant Lift. And the last item that I have is a lip empty. This is from Trestique. This is their mini lip glaze in Shell Beach Sheer, and it's gone. That's the best thing about this. I thought that it looked pretty. After a little while, this really light milky pink, when I first applied it, tended to latch on to any dry spots on my lips. Sometimes I would think my lips were in really good shape, and then I would apply this and be like, oh, so there's a dry patch, and there's a dry patch, and it looked terrible for about 30 minutes. And then it looked beautiful. I don't know how that happened, but once it had had sort of a chance to calm down, it wore in such a lovely way. It was sort of my lips, but lighter. My lips, but more shiny. My lips, but more of a milky pink. I thought it was gorgeous. But I want my lipstick to look nice when I apply it, not to have to wait for 30 minutes to look nice. So for that reason, even though I did some looks using this that I really enjoyed, I wouldn't even consider repurchasing. I know that I've been really inconsistent about using my star system, but this is like a 2-star out of 5, maybe 1.5 out of 5. Nothing impressive. Okay, so I had a good month for empties. I'm really happy with these. I'm excited to move these things out, and what's really exciting to me is that I think I brought in a lot less this month than I'm moving out. So my collection is continuing to dwindle, which is so, so exciting to me. All right, thank you so, so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and I hope that I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys!